good with y'all, man? Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you guys are having a good week so far. Just got back from the gym, chest day. Little low on energy today, man. I haven't taken no caffeine today. I'm giving my body a day rest from caffeine. But boy, oh boy, here we go with another Superman article. And before anyone says in the comments, you gun cultists, why are you always talking about Superman? I told y'all. Y'all been in my comments talking crazy. You've been in other people's comments talking crazy. So I'm going to cover every Superman article all the way until the final box office run. Because I want to... It's not even the fact I want to rub it in your face. I just want you to actually see reality of how... the narrative that's trying to be pushed with this movie. So you can face the truth. So, Screen Rant put out a new article today. It says... Superman's box office enters select superhero movie chart after major milestone. Let me guess. This is another domestic milestone. I might scream if it is. Let's see. Y'all ready? Okay. Superman has entered a select superhero movie box office group with the new DC universe starting on the right foot. James Gunn's DCU is making sure that Superman is as important as the character should be. The lack of a focus on Man of Steel in the DCEU movie franchise was one of the biggest problems, with Henry Cavill done dirty. Thankfully, David Cornswell's Superman is not facing the same kind of issues. No one will be complaining about the lack of Superman anytime. What are they even talking about already? In his own, he wasn't even the main character in his own Superman movie. Mr. Terrific outshined him. What are we talking about here? Clark Kent is one of the characters who has appeared in all DCU projects so far. That said, the biggest of them, of course, Gunn's Superman movie. DC needed the film to be a box office hit, which it's not. While it might not come close to the coveted 1 billion mark for superhero movies, Superman never had to. Oh, now it didn't have to. Okay, alright. Future DC movies could look at surpassing that mark, while Superman's reported budget of $225 million meant it only needed to finish within the $450 to $562.5 million range to break even and then become profitable. Superman has now joined a major box office chart, so they're not going to report on the tax filings WB filed in the state of Ohio that said the max budget was $363, so they could get some tax breaks. Where is that report at, huh? Superman's box office has broken records. Taking the Superman movie needed $450 to $562.5 million finished to break even and start turning a profit. If this movie was turning a profit, they wouldn't have released it so fast on digital. The DC Universe movie has succeeded in its goal. At the moment, Superman's worldwide box office stands at $605.3 million. According to data from the numbers, that means that James Gunn's movie is already $42.8 million above the highest end of the projection. Superman might not be able to surpass Zack Snyder's Man of Steel or get close to the 1 billion mark. However, the DC film did what it needed to do well, serving as a successful launch for the new DCU in theatrical space. The Superman movie also helped show DC where the studio is performing better at the box office. You know, I said this from the very beginning. I said that James Gunn's Superman, it didn't need to make a lot of money. It needed to win the fans back. It needed to bring the fans back. This movie has not done that. This movie has not done that well worldwide, and it has not brought the fans back. It's brought a small minority. We covered an article talking about that. James Gunn fans are the minority, and we covered an article about that with Zack Snyder. James Gunn has lost over half of the audience. So no, this is not. I don't understand this article. It's not making any sense, but it's trying to fit a narrative. Sadly, Superman underperformed internationally. However, its domestic performance could not have been better, serving as a way of showing that the US market is ready to forget the old DCEU and embrace the new DC. Superman has broken a slew of domestic box office records throughout its theatrical run. Recently, the Superman movie entered Warner Bros. All-time domestic top 10 with $347 million. Yeah, they're comparing Domestic Man's top 10 Warner Bros. Movies to movies that made billions of dollars, and this movie's at $600 million. It's so stupid. Like, they compared this movie to Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. And Lord of the Rings almost made $1 billion. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Superman enters a box office chart that includes just 10 comic book movies. So here we go. After Superman's latest domestic milestone helped the DC movie make history at Warner Bros., the film has now entered a new box office chart that is significant for the state of superheroes. According to box office analyst Luis Fernando, which its current worldwide total is $605.3 million, Superman is only the 10th comic book movie to gross over $600 million post-COVID. Before the pandemic, it seemed like superhero movies had a real shot at the coveted $1 billion mark, with smaller releases still performing well at the box office to tune over 600 to the 500 million. Now, Superman is only 2025 superhero movie to pass the 600 million mark. Its closest competitor is the MCU's final movie of the year. The Fantastic Four First Steps is a global total of 491.1 million. With the MCU movie projected to finish its box office run slightly over 500 million mark as part of the new box office chart, Superman has entered post-COVID. The DC movie finds itself in the company of Robert Pattinson's Batman and several Marvel movies. What? Didn't Pattinson's Batman make over 700 million? Alright, yeah, we don't even need to cover the rest of this article. Like, I don't get it. Like, they're comparing it to Fantastic Four, and Fantastic Four is a much better movie than Superman 2025. And then you have to take into consideration, Superman is a much more well-known character than the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, like I talked about before, they're like C-list characters. They're kind of like the Guardians, especially with all the failures from all the previous Fantastic Four movies. Like, that plays a role here. People don't, and plus you got all the new stuff going on with Marvel where people just don't trust Marvel. That's why all the movies have been flopping. Fantastic Four was a great movie. Way better than Superman. And Superman has made 100 million more than Fantastic Four. Like 110 million more, it looked like. Superman's at 605 million. Fantastic Four was at 491. So, okay, 120 million. We'll just call it that. It's barely outbeating that. And Superman isn't even a Superman solo movie. You got like 19 characters in that movie. And this whole thing with this is a great way for DC to get back on track. No, it's not, man. There's so much going wrong with DC. This is ridiculous, actually. You got James Gunn saying that they took Superman out of the movie theaters so people could watch Peacemaker because Peacemaker is connected to Superman. And then he's saying you don't have to watch Peacemaker in order to watch Superman. And then, like, you're telling fans that this is all connected. And then I'm going to watch Peacemaker Season 1, Episode 1 this Friday. I got a free trial on my Amazon account that I'm going to use on Friday. I ain't giving DC none of my money right now. I have a free trial. I'm going to watch Episode 1 because I want to see how bad this orgy scene is, which everybody is saying is bad. But you're telling people that you're taking Superman out of theaters so people can watch Peacemaker. And they're connected, and you have a big ass orgy scene within the first 25 minutes of Peacemaker. So you have a kid-friendly movie with Superman, besides it cussing a little bit, and then you have Peacemaker, who has a big ass orgy scene, which I've heard it's really bad. It might as well be a porno. And then you got Supergirl as a drunk calling Superman a bitch at the end of his movie. How is this a good start for DCU? I don't see it that way. And like I said, man, I feel like I said, the movie, it didn't have to win. It didn't have to make a lot of money. It didn't. It was supposed to win the fandom back. It hasn't done that. The fandom is even more split. Fantastic Four, it's not making a lot of money, but it's won a lot of the fans back. Now, I ain't gonna say everybody's back just yet, because Marvel, and just like DC, they have to show us consistency. You can't give us one good movie and then the next are, back to the same old, same old. It has to be consistent. But Marvel was on the right path. DC? No. Absolutely not. No. DC is in shambles. DC is a mess. There is too much going on right now. All these different things coming out. And like we talked about in the previous video, James Gunn just needs to stop talking on the internet, because he's literally saying multiple different things and it's not making sense. And it's making what he says just hypocritical. It's like, you can't say that you're taking Superman out of the movie theater so you can watch Peacemaker, but then you come out and say on Threads that Peacemaker, you don't have to see Peacemaker for Superman. It doesn't make any sense, and you're just confusing people. You're confusing people. So, no. DC is not on the right path. I don't care about these little domestic milestones. They mean nothing. Worldwide total means something. Don't ever compare this Superman movie to Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, or any of the previous movies we've covered in these articles, because those movies are billion-dollar franchises, or almost. This movie hasn't even made it made 600 million now. It's at 605 million. But it has way less tickets sold. Like 36,000 tickets sold. Man, it still had over 80,000 tickets sold or something like that. So, nah. And I don't want to hear this BS with, movie theaters have been down. That's bullshit. Because guess what? Deadpool and Wolverine. Everybody showed up for that. Spider-Man No Way Home with all 3 Spider-Mans. People showed up for that. There's other movies that people have showed up for. Avatar is coming out this year. Avatar is going to make a killing at the box office. So I don't want to hear all this baloney that, the theaters, people just aren't going to the movie. No, it's baloney. Get it out of your brain. That is false. If you put a good movie out that people want to watch, people will see it. People just don't want this. They don't want this. It's a minority of people that want this. So you can leave all them excuses, because everything I just said is facts. Watch Avatar. What comes out in November, December? That movie might make $1 billion. But remember, post-COVID or whatever you want to call it, the Batman made over 700 million. Like, there's a whole lot of other movies that's came out that's made a great amount of money post-COVID. So all that theater BS, cut it out, man. That's just an excuse. So I'm going to leave it at that, man. I want y'all to let me know, how do y'all feel about this article? What do you guys think? Did I leave anything out? Let me know in the comments down below. And always, I'll see y'all in the next, man. 100,000 subscribers is grind time. Let's get it.